I would appreciate it if you could take a moment to consider subscribing to my channel, liking the content, and sharing your thoughts in the comments. Your support means a lot to me and helps me continue creating engaging stories. I can't believe my husband is marrying someone else. It turns out he had been saving money for our wedding, but now it seems like that was just a way for him to take my hard-earned cash. Catherine, you cunning woman, you managed to deceive me while I struggled to comprehend the upcoming wedding. Tyler keeps spouting nonsense, making it clear that he stole the money I had carefully saved for our own wedding expenses. How could you not know, Catherine? I tilted my head in confusion. They shouldn't be allowed to get married so easily. I hope you find happiness, I said through a smile, leaving that detestable wedding behind. But behind that smile, a fire of revenge was ignited. I am Catherine, a 26-year-old woman. Throughout my life, I've been told that I'm kind. But deep down, I struggle to express my true emotions. My mother always scolded me, telling me to be strong and know what I want. But the truth is, I don't even know what I want. I've always plastered a smile on my face just to avoid being disliked by others. Hey Catherine, your skirt flipped up, Tyler said mischievously, flipping up my skirt like a gust of wind. Stop it, I yelled, holding down my skirt. In that moment, my eyes were filled with a glare of success. Catherine can get angry too. That's good. You look cute even when you're mad, Tyler said with a smirk. It felt like we were back in elementary school, but the reality was that we were both college students at the time. Next time I want to see you cry, he said, making me blush. Tyler was a jerk, but for some reason, I was drawn to him. It was the carefree Tyler who broke me out of my always smiling, gentle shell. After graduating from college, we started dating. Life with Tyler, a sociable person, was a stimulating change for me, who had lived a modest life. He would take me to lively places like nightclubs or summer music festivals. I started staying up late and traveling, things I had never done before. I even began to enjoy a moderate amount of alcohol. Tyler and I were complete opposites. None of his friends were as reserved as me. I worried that we were not a good match. However, when Tyler unexpectedly proposed, he silenced those doubts. Are you sure about someone like Catherine? One of Tyler's drunken friends asked loudly during our engagement party. Even I had concerns about being myself, but I never expected someone else to voice them. It meant that even from others' perspectives, Tyler and I didn't seem compatible. I shrunk in embarrassment and sadness, trying to make myself disappear. What are you talking about? If I'm gonna marry someone, it's gotta be Catherine. Tyler's cheerful voice saved me. He chugged a beer and put his arm around my shoulder. See? She's like the traditional wives of old times, right? It's rare to find such a lady these days. I'm the type who wants to be pampered. I may not be a wonderful woman, but I want to be useful to him. My cheeks turned hot with embarrassment as Tyler and I became the center of attention. Our friends were having a blast drinking and singing. We drank until late at night in Tyler's small apartment. But really, are you okay with Catherine? She seems kind of boring, you know? As alcohol flowed, the conversation grew increasingly crude. I felt a bit uncomfortable but slightly tipsy. I believed in Tyler's love, yet I was spectacularly betrayed. That was my biggest problem. His friends eagerly jumped on the topic, and Tyler began to boast about embarrassingly private matters despite my pleas for him to stop. Your wife's not liking this, you know, a friend teased, and Tyler puffed up his chest. I'm not a man who's whipped by his wife. He even leaned on a female friend, clearly crossing the line of friendship. Maybe I should get my nighttime care elsewhere, he said, exchanging sleazy glances with the woman while another friend mocked, imitating a woman's voice. This cheater, enemy of women. Anyway, I'm not married to Catherine yet, so cheating's technically not cheating, right? Maybe I should play around more while I still can. Tyler's joking words didn't sound like a joke. He was embracing the woman, clearly crossing a line. Tyler, you've had too much to drink. Let's take a break. I pretended to be concerned, attempting to separate them. Tyler, man, you're the worst. Cheating is not okay, married or not. A friend laughed and lectured, though they weren't really defending me. Tyler seemed to calm down momentarily. He scratched his chin, nodded, and opened a drawer in the cabinet. What he took out was a marriage certificate. Look, everyone, as you can see, I'm marrying Catherine. I love only Catherine. I would never cheat, he declared, swaying his body unsteadily while being terribly drunk. We had filled out that marriage certificate right after he proposed. It was decided that our marriage registration and wedding would take place about a year later, on November 22nd. We would start living together after that. As Tyler declared his intention, everyone cheered and congratulated us, and I was immersed in joy. But the warmth in my heart rapidly cooled after that. "All right, I'm off, Tyler. Take care." I angrily crammed the certificate into my pocket and watched as Tyler gleefully exited the house, followed by his rowdy group of friends. I chose to stay behind, unaware of the regret that would soon consume me. Just minutes later, to my disbelief, Tyler and his friends returned, burning with excitement. They had actually gone ahead and submitted the marriage certificate. "Let's go to the office together," Tyler suggested, shattering our once happy promise. The next day, after Tyler's friends had left, I was left to silently clean up the disastrous aftermath. The room was in shambles, with empty cans strewn about and food spills everywhere. It was a depressing sight that mirrored the state of my emotions. As I cleaned, Tyler approached me, sensing that something was amiss. "What's wrong? Are you mad?" he asked, oblivious to the chaos he had caused. His words irritated me further, but as he embraced me with his large frame, I couldn't help but feel a slight softening in my heart. "I'm truly sorry about last night. I know wild parties aren't your thing," Tyler apologized. "How about we go on a relaxing date to the aquarium next time?" Despite everything, Tyler's kind gesture momentarily eased the tension between us. There was no use crying over spilled milk. Perhaps we could turn our wedding day into our anniversary. I had initially envisioned a modest ceremony, but Tyler, always one for grandeur, would likely want to invite a multitude of friends. He was the type who wanted to revel in the spotlight on his big day. After all, a wedding is a once-in-a-lifetime event, or so they say. You don't have to come if you don't want to. The atmosphere gets sour when you're around, and it dampens the mood, I confessed, hoping he would understand. Tyler, who was usually cheerful, suddenly grew serious. "Who do you think you are? Acting like you owe me?" he retorted, leaving me speechless. Was it truly okay for us to continue like this? Could I really go through with marrying someone who treated me this way? Even my mother, whom I hadn't consulted, began to worry. But I reassured her, assuring her that Tyler and I would be fine. I was no longer a child to be scolded by my parents. As I repeated those words in my mind, Tyler, who had been cold and distant, surprised me with his sudden warmth. "Catherine, you're really a good woman," he confessed, causing my cheeks to flush. I had no doubts that we would smoothly proceed with our wedding. However, one Sunday, a strange phone call shattered my illusions. One of Tyler's friends cheerfully informed me that I was late. Confused, I confronted Tyler, only to find an uninvited woman standing beside him. "Look, the bride Katie showed up," one of his friends laughed uproariously. Memories of a past drinking. The memory of a drinking party flooded my mind, where Tyler and Katie had been uncomfortably close. Suddenly, everything clicked into place. As I looked around the venue, I noticed Tyler and Katie exchanging subtle glances. This wasn't some cruel joke, it was a real wedding. "What's happening?" I managed to choke out, my voice trembling. With a smirk on his face, Tyler called me a good woman, mocking my convenience. "You were just a means to an end, Catherine. It was your money that made this extravagant wedding possible," he sneered. His words hit me like a bolt of lightning, and a realization dawned upon me. Could it be true? No, it couldn't. But I couldn't afford to hesitate any longer. The unthinkable was happening right before my eyes. "Bingo," I said, my voice filled with embarrassment, sadness, and above all, fury. A boiling rage surged within me, unlike anything I had ever experienced. Dressed in casual attire amidst the elegantly dressed guests, I must have appeared like a pathetic ex-girlfriend. Tyler's parents, whom I had met just 6 months ago for a marriage introduction, stared at me with open disdain. Couldn't they see the deceit and untrustworthiness radiating from their son? His friends were no different. It was then that I realized the absurdity of Tyler's surroundings. "I hope you find happiness," I said, forcing a smile as I left the detestable wedding behind. But behind that smile, thoughts of revenge consumed me. 30 minutes later, Tyler trudged back to his apartment, only to find me waiting for him. "Did you think you could do this on your own, Tyler?" You're the one who submitted the marriage certificate, right? I thrust my smartphone in his face and played a video. It captured the day Tyler and I registered our marriage. "I'll make Catherine happy for a lifetime," he had shouted, an unimaginable statement given the current circumstances. An undeniable fact emerged. A drunken Tyler and his friends had impulsively submitted the marriage certificate, only for him to completely forget about this significant life event. Blindness may be attributed to love, but my eyes were no longer clouded. Tyler, who always appeared fun and vibrant, was nothing more than an irresponsible and thoughtless man. "Get a divorce quickly. Why should I be married to someone like you?" "It's absurd," I declared, my voice filled with determination. Tyler, unable to accept the blame, began throwing a fit, shifting all responsibility onto me. In that moment, I regretted ever marrying such a selfish man. But I refused to let his actions define my future. I had been naive, but no more. It was time to unleash my own revenge and show Tyler the consequences of his actions. Oh, what a tangled web we weave. But once the deed is done, why not seize the opportunity for a little sweet revenge? "Well, I have a condition, my dear Tyler." As he stood there, his face turning crimson with anger, I calmly demanded the return of my funds. Ah, the audacity. You see, Tyler, when a family member takes from another, it's not mere theft. It's a twisted dance of familial justice. Katie, looking as clueless as ever, smugly displayed her limited knowledge. "Oh, Tyler, you're lucky. Taking money from your wife is perfectly acceptable. The law turns a blind eye to such matters." Tyler's expression brightened, thinking he had outsmarted me. "So you're saving it for me, right? Well, then I should just take it back," I asserted, determined to teach them both a lesson they wouldn't forget. But little did Tyler know I had grown tired of his games, his boredom with our engagement thinly veiled. He only found me useful when he needed a momentary kindness. Oh, how he had underestimated me. He had been snooping around my room, searching for my secrets, even managing to catch a glimpse of my key when I used the ATM. Clever, Tyler, but not clever enough. I confronted him, demanding an explanation of how he had withdrawn the money. As he stumbled over his words, I couldn't help but laugh at his feeble attempts to deceive me. "My dear Katie, it seems you're not the only thief in this twisted tale. While Tyler may escape legal consequences due to our unfortunate connection, you, my dear, are a stranger in this game. The police would surely come knocking at your door." Tyler and Katie exchanged panicked glances, their faces turning pale. "I didn't do anything. I'm innocent," Katie desperately denied, her voice trembling. Oh, the drama was unfolding beautifully. I had expected a mere sulking session, but they had gravely underestimated my determination. "Enough of this confusion," I declared, my voice dripping with satisfaction. "Divorce me, Tyler, and repay every last penny you took, bit by bit. Only then will I consider ending this charade." Tyler clenched his teeth, his face contorted with anger, while Katie let out a shriek, fearing the loss of their impending marriage. "Divorce quickly. We can't proceed with our plans otherwise. You were so careless to get pregnant, Katie. Have you no thought for the future? Once that child is born, your priorities will shift, and fun will become a distant memory." I couldn't help but impart a dose of common sense onto this irresponsibly entangled couple. It was as if I had transformed into a concerned aunt, worrying about their future. Will these kids ever learn? I pondered, feeling a mix of pity and disdain. The child, innocent in all this, deserved better than Tyler and Katie's antics. And so the saga continued. Katie, once so bold, now reduced to tears, and Tyler, lying prostrate on the cold, unforgiving ground. Ah, the world was crumbling around them. The $60,000 that Katie's father had loaned them was safely returned, and with the money back in my possession, Katie showed a flicker of remorse. She managed to secure a suspended sentence, but I wasn't finished with her yet. Oh no, I demanded alimony for the pain and suffering they had caused, for the sheer joy they found in ruining other people's happiness. "My dear Katie, you have a terrible personality and it comes with a hefty price tag. How much money do I want? Well, let's just say it's a number that will make your head spin." And then, in the midst of it all, a heavily pregnant Katie confronted me, her swollen belly a testament to their reckless actions. I had expected an apology, but instead she had the audacity to challenge me. It's only fair to get back the money that was stolen, and I won't settle for anything less. And by the way, I won't slack off or indulge in any entertainment until I've paid my dues. Katie, healthy and vibrant, was given no respite until just before childbirth. Tyler, on the other hand, attempted to escape multiple times, only to be caught and dragged back to his self-imposed prison. The blame game ensued between the two, each pointing fingers at the other for their unfortunate predicament. I heard whispers from Katie's father, who faithfully paid me monthly. I wish I could just wash my hands of a daughter like that, but the unborn child is innocent, and I must ensure Catherine receives her rightful payments. You must value your own feelings too, I whispered to myself, finally allowing the tears I had held back for so long to flow freely. In that vulnerable moment, I sought solace in the embrace of my stern mother, who had always been my biggest supporter. I returned to my parents' home, feeling like a child again, indulging in my mother's delicious cooking and engaging in playful arguments with my father. It was a temporary respite from the chaos that had consumed my life.